and happy to answer questions related to debris. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise. We also have John Thompson. He's with Public Works and Planning. He's the Assistant Director there and also the Director for Creek Fire Debris Cleanup. John, would you please introduce yourself real quick?
Sure will, Dave. Thank you. And thank everybody who's on the meeting tonight. Unfortunately, my video is not working tonight, but this will be I think this is our 5th meeting, if I'm right. And we'll continue to have these meetings as long as there's an interest from the public. Although I believe our deadline is coming up for January 15th for the right of entry forms. So this meeting tonight is going to be basically more of a frequently asked questions. Deep's going to lead on, and we'll go from there. But we appreciate everybody hanging on with us. And the only thing I continue to restate is if you have neighbors or friends up there that have not completed the right of entry or provided a owner-initiated cleanup forms into the county, please talk to them, have them call Deep Sadhu down at Environmental Health, and we'll get them set up and get going. That was it. Thank you, Deep.
Thank you, John. With that, let's get started. So, I really, our team's been really working hard to do a outreach to all the property owners that were affected by the Creek Fire. Currently, we have 228 right of entry forms submitted by the property owners to go with the state program for the cleanup, which is no cost out of the pocket for the property owner. And we also have 65 owner-initiated work plans approved. Those are property owners that don't want to hire their own contractors to do the cleanup themselves. With that, we're almost 300 properties, and to be exact, 293 properties that have either submitted the right of entry forms or owner initiated. So that's a really good number, and we are really hoping and encouraging everybody to please communicate with your neighbors, spread the word. This government program is a really great program, and it's no cost to the property owner. Also, today we got a really good news that the cleanup process will start tomorrow. They will be mobilizing, their contractors will be mobilizing their equipment and putting it in place to get the cleanup process started. This number, we are about 65% of the total property damaged that we got the right of entry form or the owner initiated. So we would like to see that number increase because, like John mentioned, the deadline to submit a right of entry form is January 15, 2021. So really, time is the essence here, and we would encourage everybody to contact our office, and I'll go through some of the resources we have available through our website to how to complete this right of entry form. So today, we're just going to share what resources we have on our website and what have we been doing and how can you reach us. And at the end, if we have any questions, we'll be answering those questions. Otherwise, I'll be going through some of the frequently asked questions that we have gotten through our phone calls or we have gone through this virtual workshop. With that, I want to share our website. So this is our Fresno County website. And like you say right here, we have also have a banner that we have a timetable banner that says 11 days remaining to register for no money out of pocket cost for the state program. So this is the program that, like I said, mentioned before, it's free to the property owner. In return, if you have insurance, you have to submit your insurance information. Now, only proceeds that are designated to do a debris cleanup will be used. And with that, even with that, some of the funds that are allocated to the debris removal, you could use some of those funds to do fixing like septic system or well or anything like that. And whatever is left over, those are the proceeds that will go to the state or the local government. So in our website, as you see, there's a click here. Once you click here, this date is 11 days left to submit your right of entry forms. That's January 15, 2021. Once you click here, that will take you to our website. And this website has a lot of good information regarding the debris removal and all that. And as you see, there's a click here. You could click here and put in your APN number your address, and to see your property, whether it's in the list of properties that were damaged with the creek fire. With that, phase one has already been completed, and I want to thank the state and the federal government to providing and completing this works very quickly. Actually, given the weather is coming, and they did a really good job, and all the properties that were damaged with creek fire, we did a site assessment for each property through our environmental health division team, and that information and the denser map information from CAL FIRE, US EPA used that information to assess every property and went through all the property and removed all the hazardous waste through the phase one program. And that itself was no cost to the property owner, So that part is already completed. Now, if you have a property that you feel that was left behind or wasn't, on there, you could still call this EPA hotline and let them know that, hey, my property was missed, But I think we got pretty close to 100% of properties that were damaged. So, we're really thankful for the US EPA for that. As you move down, there is phase two debris removal, which will be starting tomorrow. They will be mobilizing their equipment, putting it in place, doing the pre-work, getting ready to start removing the debris from the property owners. I believe they're going to be starting about around Glenwood, across from Cressman Road, and in the lower part of it. Given we've been lucky. Last week we missed the big storm, so we're very fortunate of that, and they will be starting a work tomorrow on the lower part of it. As the weather gets better, they will be moving really quickly once this process, and this is why it's really important that we spread the word. We do all the reach out to the property owners to complete the right of entry forms. Once you have the right of entry forms, the Cal OES and Cal Recycles contractor will contact you. They will contact you week prior to to the area where they're going to be cleaning up, just to let them know that within a week or so they will be working in the area. Also, they will be contacting you 48 hours prior to being on your property. And that is really good. And in that sense, if you have submitted the right of entry forms, and if you have noted down on there's some critical things that you want to be part of this cleanup, you want them to save certain things or make them aware of certain things. And that's where you want to add that, is in the right of entry forms, to put in the notes or do attachment that, hey, I'm worried about this, I'm concerned about this, I want to be there, I want to be informed. So that's the place you really want to put that information in. With that, we have really good information, understanding the right of entry forms. Also, I want to go back to the break, just like it says right here, end date, anticipated May 2021. That's about 4 months away. As soon as you get your right of entry form signed and submitted to our department, the time's going to fly really quick, and your property is going to be cleaned up really, really quick. And it's 4 months is nothing. Once the work start, and they have hired a huge contractor with a lot of resources to get this process completed. So I really encourage County of Fresno property owners who've been affected with creek fire to complete this right of entry forms and submit it. Also on our website we have this link here, understanding the right of entry form. Let's see, yeah. So these are really important information here for someone who hasn't been involved and just getting involved with this process. So you could really go through this information, and really a lot of your questions will be answered. It's a really critical information on here. Okay, where do I go back here? Oh, sorry. I think I messed up here real quick. Let me get back to that page. Here we go. And so we have 3 forms of ways where you could complete the right of entry form. You have an Adobe form where you could click on it and you could complete it online and do an e-signature and submit it online. That's a really good, if you have that technology resources. If you have access to that, you can do it. It's really quick, really simple. All you need to do is make sure you're signing on a proper document. If you have insurance and that covers debris removal, you shouldn't be signing on that page. And also, there's also a page in there that says a withdrawal page. You shouldn't be signing on that page if you want to be involved in the state program. So those are the critical things that you really want to pay attention to, because time is the essence, like I said, and it's, you have a lot going on and you want to make sure you complete it right. And if you have any questions regarding how to complete these forms, you could always call our office at 559-600-3271 and talk to anybody who's handling the debris cleanup, or speak with me, Deep Sidhu, and I'll be more than happy to assist you with that. Also, make sure you're putting in the correct address. And if you don't know the correct APN, we will find it and put it in a correct APN. But if you do, please put in your APN, correct address, street name, and the city you're falling into. And if you have an APN, a large APN, it has multiple addresses, please note that as well, and we'll make copies of that right of entry form and submit it under different addresses with the same APN to make sure that your address is addressed. So we also have a PDF and a printable form. If somebody who wants to print it out and complete it and mail it, we have that resources available as well. Also, we have a debris removal program enrollment, frequently asked questions. There's also really good information there. We also have it in Spanish. If somebody who doesn't know how to read English, they can look up the Spanish information. And we also have this eligibility chart that also answers a lot of questions on if whether or not your property is eligible for certain type of cleanup. And this is really good. It really answers a lot of critical questions. For example, partially damaged house. You're not going to be eligible for debris removal because it's just partially damaged. Occupant-owned manufactured home. Yes, as long as your home is larger than 120 square foot, you are eligible for this cleanup. Elise, please jump in if there's some information that I'm incorrectly saying it. So there's really good information here that you could, get a lot of your questions answered. So the main purpose of our presentation today is just to talk about where we're at and what resources we have available and, frequently asked questions. We have done quite a few outreach. Our environmental health team, division team have posted flyers. They have made contacts with community leaders up in the mountain community, schools, big grocery stores. We will be posting flyers on this Friday, and our team will be going to all the grocery stores, Ace Hardware, coffee shops. We'll be posting flyers that will have when is the cleanup started, we'll start, and also the deadline to submit a right of entry form. Really important information, has links on there that you could click and go to those links, and how to reach our office. So there's really important information, and we'll be up there on Friday if the weather persists. The weather's been really good. Not good in a sense that we definitely need the snow and water, but in the sense that, it's safe to travel there and reach out to these property owners and provide our service to them. With that, I just want to open up, and I would like Elise to give us an update on what's going on and how things are in terms of how many assessments you have completed, and just a brief update on what's going on and how the cleanups will start.
Hi again. I was just trying to switch screens on my temporary laptop to make sure I could access those numbers. I know, just while I'm pulling up the actual numbers, we've been completing site assessments and asbestos assessments, asbestos abatements, and also chimney tipping in Fresno County to date. And tomorrow will be our first day of actual structural debris removal in the area that Deep mentioned. it's been like a long-awaited road. So I really appreciate everybody's patience while we get everything worked out to do this in the best and safest way possible. And now I'm just at the file. Sorry, I didn't have that ready. My mistake. So as of close of business yesterday, we have had a little bit of a slowdown due to the weather in Fresno County. We can't exactly work in the snow safely or efficiently. So to date, we have completed 175 site assessments, 183 asbestos assessments, 16 asbestos abatements, and we've tipped 30 chimneys. So that's the status of where we are right now. And then tomorrow will be our first day of actual debris removal beginning. Deep, is there anything else you wanted me to highlight where we are?
One thing that, we've been getting few emails and some concerns or some special requests from property owners regarding their chimneys, regarding chimneys being built in 1960s or, not having asbestos and things like that. Our understanding is, some of the chimneys that were built in like 70s, but they have asbestos. And once there's a fire, that asbestos turns into hazardous waste. And that has to be removed. It's danger to public health, and that has to be removed. And that's one of the processes that if you go over the state programs, they will remove your chimney. And plus, it's a danger. Once the fire, the extreme heat of the fire, that compromised the structure of the chimney, and that's really another part is they have to remove it for the safety of the workers. And can you at least talk a little bit about what could some of these property owners could do, how they could request, and how they could verify or confirm if their chimney did not have asbestos?
So I'm not sure how a homeowner would be able to verify or confirm whether it did or didn't. We've got trained professionals on each site, double checking and making sure that we're removing everything for the safety of the environment and for the safety of our workers, like you mentioned. The chimneys are tipped because they're a fall hazard for the crews that are going to be moving heavy equipment on the site and removing all of that structural ash and debris. I know of at least one special request where if the homeowner felt like it was a historic thing, is there anything we can do to maybe potentially save it? And I believe our operations specialists, if they haven't already, because I've been out of the loop for 2 days, so if they have not already done so, I think the plan is to kind of learn more about that site with the homeowner to see if there's anything we could do to potentially save anything that's historic or sentimental. But generally speaking, the chimneys will be tipped and removed for safety.
Thank you, Elise. And like Elise mentioned, it's a safety concern and it's a public health and environment concern. But however, if you really feel that you really need to save that chimney, I would suggest that you get an owner-initiated cleanup conducted and do your work in that path. But if you do have requests, please email it to me. I will forward it to the state, and we'll get an answer from them, and I'll let you know as soon as possible what the decision is.
Another thing, to let us know your thoughts and your goals on you as a homeowner, anything that you can add to the right of entry form on those extra pages that'll help us better service your property and better assist in keeping you as whole as we can during this situation. We're going to make every attempt to do that within the bounds of what our program allows for. But whatever you want to let us know about your property, we're happy to hear. And then also those 2 phone calls that Deep mentioned ahead of time, the one that occurs closer, the 24 to 48 hour mark phone call, that's your opportunity to talk to the actual crew leader who will be managing that particular site. So that's another opportunity to further explain kind of what your ROE was trying to describe or entail as to your wants and needs. But we'll try to accommodate, but we are bound by certain things for the health and safety reasons.
Thank you, Elise. Also, I wanted to mention that, this is our 5th virtual workshop to answer questions and talk about what resources are available to these community members. We have posted those videos as well on our website, and you could, if you have something that you would like to know, or we talked about in the past, you could also go to our website and click on one of these links here, and the videos are linked to these links. So you have access to that as well on our website. Any other question? Let's check if we have any question on our chat box. I do not see any questions. So, we could go through some of the frequently asked questions and provide answers to them. And as we go, and we'll monitor if we have any questions, and we'll answer those questions as well. Let me see some of these questions that we have answered before, but they're continuously, very important questions.
Say deep.
Yes, John.
At the end of the day, I wanted to make a correction. At the very end of the day, the first home that's going to be cleaned starting tomorrow, that's going to be on down in Shaver Springs, and then they'll probably be moving up to the Glenwood area. So that changed I think right at about 5 o'clock today. So okay. It'll be a little bit different than that.
Okay. Thanks, John, for the update. Like I said, things are really coming into play, and the things, because due to certain circumstances, things may change into where, these contractors could start doing the work. It could be access to that property, it could be weather, it could be as many different circumstances, because the contractors have to work safely as much as they can. So one of the questions that, we always get is, will our driveway will be removed? Is it asphalt or concrete? It's a case by case, but usually no. Unless contamination from the burned air items, such as vehicles totally destroyed during the debris removal. That's the only time it'll be removed, unless something really bad happens. Otherwise, if it's in good condition, it'll be left alone. When will the property owner be notified? I think we talked about that already, that property owner will be notified a week prior that they will be working in that area, and also 48 hours prior to being on their property. And like Elise mentioned, that's your opportunity to communicate with the contractor lead and talk to them. What would you like to see, and what other things that you want to point out regarding your property. Sometimes it's, the safety wise, sometimes you are aware of certain parts of your property are dangerous. That's also a really good opportunity to let the contractor know that, hey, this is the best way to get to your property. Does phase 2 include erosion measures? Yes. Erosion control measures will be placed once the debris is removed and the soil testing is completed. Can I be on the property when the cleanup is happening? Generally, they want you to be in a safe place because of your own safety and everybody else's safety. But they will have an open communication with you close by, where there is not, you will not be in the hot zone, but you will be in a place where you're safe, and they will keep communication with you. Can a contractor place a mechanic's lien on my property? The answer is no. I know this was talked about early part of our communication, because there were some rumors that, if I go with a state program, there's a potential, there's a rumor that a contractor who's hired by the state can put a lien on it. The answer is no. They will not and cannot put lien on your property going through the state program. Can I revoke my right of entry? Yes, if you feel that, there are certain things you want to save and you cannot save with the state program, or you feel like you would like to go through the owner initiated program. Yes, there is a form, which is also in the right of entry form. It's the last page. I believe it's the last page, or second, I think it's second or third to the last page, where you could sign that form and submit it to our office prior to work starting. So once the contractor's on your property and you have submitted the right of entry form, and once they are on your property doing the work, that's a little late to submit the withdrawal form. So if you are thinking about submitting a withdrawal form and going through the owner initiated program, then I would suggest you do it in a timely fashion. Also, it's really important to go through one of these processes, because eventually your property has to be cleaned up. It is because of public health and environment. So there is no cost to this program to you going through the state program and submitting this right of entry form. And owner initiated, there is a cost with the owner initiated. And so it's a really good program, really good opportunity for a lot of property owners that have been affected with the creek fire to go through the state program. And the only way to qualify for the state program is by submitting the right of entry form before January 15, 2021. How soon after debris removal is completed will I be able to start rebuilding? Property owner can begin the rebuilding once the debris removal process is completed and appropriate city and county permits are obtained. Let's check if we have any questions or chat backs. No. So we haven't had any questions today from the public, and we really encourage people to spread the word regarding our virtual workshop and join us and ask us questions. You could always email us if you're unable to join us during this time. You could always email us through the Creek Fire at fresnocountyca.gov. And any questions you have regarding your property, any concern, any assistance you need, you don't have access to computers or you don't have access to mail, we could deliver mail to a location where you are able to pick up your right of entry forms, or come to our office and we'll help you print you a copy of right of entry form and have it completed. So any way we could help, we're willing to help, because it's just so important that this program is here, and they're not going to be here forever. We want to make sure all the help, whoever needs this assistance is able to get this assistance, and and they're going to be gone after May. So the contract is valid till May. So they're going to get all these properties that have completed the right of entry forms completed by May of 2021. Let's see if we could go through some of the other questions that are really common. Pump house or water holding tank was on the concrete slab less than 120 square feet. Will the concrete slab be removed? Generally, no. If a slab is less than 120 square foot or is not connected to the house, that will not be removed. Yes, so you can save that, but it's also important that you mention that in the right of entry form. Like Elise mentioned before, then that's a really good place to communicate with the state contractor. They will be reading all through these right of entry forms and paying really good attention to what the property owner is requesting and respecting their request, and if they can, as much as they can. And the tree question is, will some of the trees will be removed from a property that were damaged from the creek fire. Any tree that is a nuisance or a safety hazard to these workers or affecting the public right of way will be removed. And like I said, you really need to emphasize that on your right of entry forms when you submit it. And we are really happy that we got close to 300 right of entry forms completed. That's a really good number, and we have right now we have 448 properties estimated that were damaged through creek fire, and we're getting there, and we would like to see at least 80 to 90% within the next week or so, right of entry forms. So, once the state program starts and the contractors start working, and they would love to have all the properties in a row have the right of form submitted, and they could work efficiently and really quickly and get you ready to rebuild again if that's what you like. With that, we're here anytime. If you have any questions, our department, Environmental Health Division, you could contact us at 600-3271 or through Creek Fire fresnocountyca.gov, or ask for me, Deep Sidhu, when you call, and I will do my best to help you, point you in the right direction, provide you all information you need and resources you need. With that, Elise, John, do you have anything else to add?
I don't have anything else to add other than, the goal of this program is to make the properties basically a clean slate for rebuild. So when they come in, generally they'll take out the foundation, everything, scrape the dirt, regrade the dirt, do the erosion control so that when you're ready to rebuild, you'll have a clean slate to build on. That's the general scope of work. But as Deep and Elise had stated, if there's specific things on your property that you want to keep, make sure you make that known up front prior to the work being started. And that's it.
Thank you, John. Elise, you have anything to add at the end?
No, I really think that these public meetings are very helpful. And then, like you said, this whole team is available all the time. Your county is ready and willing and able to support, and anything that they have extra questions on, never having been through this, the state is right behind them. So don't, if there's anything kind of keeping you from turning in a right of entry form, get your question out there so that we can explain things to you so you can make the best decision for your property and what works for you. Our whole intent is to inform, and then also to put everything safely back to kind of a set of normalcy so that we can get you ready to rebuild. Thank you.
Thank you, Elise. With that, I just want to thank all the county departments that have dedicated their time helping our community, and the county leaders. Thank them for all their efforts they are making to, getting this right of entry form, spreading the word to complete the right of entry forms, and the state and Cal ES and Cal Recycle for their efforts and working so hard out here, for the community. To get this a beautiful place, a green place back to looking what it used to look like. It was a great place to go camping, skiing, and many different things, so really encourage everybody to, get their questions answered, and help out your neighbors, spread the word, ask them if they, need any help, or contact us, we could help them out. With that, thank you for your time, for joining us today, and we'll continue to have these virtual workshops. We would love to have in person, because due to COVID guidelines, we're unable to do that. Otherwise, we would be up there in the community, helping out, filling out these forms and providing answers in person. With that, thank you. Have a good evening, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Bye.